Hi guys, a quick video for you today on the Stampin' Up! Gift Box Punch board that I said at the start when they came out in the new holiday catalogue that I would never ever get because I was in love with my envelope punch board and I can create heaps and heaps of boxes with this guy and I love it to pieces. Couldn't really see the value in grabbing this extra punch board. However, obviously I'm doing a video for you, which means that I might have changed my mind ever so slightly. I did get set a bit of a challenge on a forum that I'm part of to see if I could come up with anything other than just these standard boxes that are listed on the gift board. You get a whole range of kind of measurements down the side here telling you what paper size and some scoring lines to follow. The trouble with this is that they do make beautiful boxes, so you can create really great, let me get these out of the way so you can sort of see. You can get really great large gift boxes out of 12 by 12 pieces of designer series paper. You can make smaller ones out of I think about 10 by 10. These ones come out. You can make even littler boxes. Problem is that they're always square. So they're always square. They've got different heights. Sometimes the height is the same as the width and the depth, but they're always this square shape here. Now I have decided to do some extra little things with the gift board that does come square and make some of these little shaker boxes and these little shaker windows here that you can see right through, and you can put a tea light in and they make great table decorations. So that was one thing I thought of, but I was still a little bit perplexed by the fact that they just kept being square. I wanted rectangles. Can you make rectangles with the gift box punch board? The answer is absolutely yes, you can. There's only one real simple rule that you need to follow. Experiment away and you can create all sorts of different things. These are little gifts I've made for my Stamp Club girls this month. We're doing a sort of a Christmas in September type theme. So these are the little Christmas boxes and they've just got a little chocolate bar. As you can see, it's rectangle, so a square box kind of just wasn't going to do. No matter what I did, I needed a rectangular box, and the gift box punch board can do that. So let me show you how I made this. I'll show you how I made it first and then I'll confuse you with everything else that I've made with it. So to start with, you'll need a 6 by 6 inch piece of cardstock or designer series paper. The little extender arm does pop out on the board, but we won't need it for this particular size cardstock we're using today. You will need the little scorer out of this. Basically all I've done is you need two measures. Basically when you make it normally, you do one side and you repeat on all four sides, so you end up with a square box. This time we're going to do two different things to two different sides and then repeat on the opposite two sides, and that gives us our rectangle. It's really quite simple when you think about it, guys, and once you see me do one you go, oh, that's easy. So I'm going to start on the small line here, with my paper up against the small line, and I'm going to start like I would normally do for a standard box. I'm going to punch. And then I'm going to score down and I'm going to score across. Now I'm not going to use the diagonal score lines. This only works if you've got a square box. As you can imagine, my corners aren't going to be square, so I won't be able to score them evenly at the 45. So we don't need to touch that diagonal line at all, okay? So we're going to move to the next side. Now if we were making a square box, we would do the same thing here. We lined up with the small punch, score, score. I want a rectangular box, so I'm going to actually leave it at the small line first and just put one score line here because you'll see what that's for in a wee little minute. But just all you're going to do is line up with the small, put a score line in there. You can omit this step and you'll see why when I show you the end of the box, but for now we're going to put the small line in there. Then we're going to move it down to the extra large line on the side here, so all the way to the end. We're not going to punch on this side, we're just going to score down and we're going to score across. Okay, so no punching. So that's really all the measurements we need to know. We're back onto this first side here, which is opposite to where we started. So we're going to do the exact same thing on this side as we did on this side, which is a punch, a score, and a score. Remember, no diagonal. And then we're going to go 90 degrees. And remember, we put this little just downward score line in at the small line there. We're going to move down to the XL line again, no punching, and we're going to score and we're going to score. Same as you would do when you're making a normal box. You're going to flip your cardstock over. Let me just pop this away. And we're going to go back to this small line here, and we're just going to punch once. And we're not going to go all the way around, remember, because we missed that one. We didn't punch on this side, and we're going to go to this side and do the small, and we're going to punch. So there you go. can sort of see a rectangular shape taking place already. So all you're going to do with this one, these two, remember that extra score line I put in, I said you can omit that step if you want to. Basically all I've done is just gone over to my cutter and used those guides and cut off those extra lengths, because when you wrap your rectangular box around it's too wide. So I just put those score lines in to cut them off. So once you're in here and you've got those scores cut off, I actually do use my envelope punch board here because I want to round these two tab corners without that little slit that the punch board, the gift box one gives you. So the little gift box one gives you the little slits that you can join it together. I don't want to do that with this one, so I just want the round off my envelope punch board. Then all I'm going to do is take my scissors and I'm going to cut on these two inner score lines here on the long sides, that side and that side. So 4 cuts like that. Okay, you can see it sort of coming together. I'm just going to use my handheld 1/4 inch punch here, and I put some holes on these two small tabs at the end here. So one there, stripping to the other end, one there, and that's going to help me join it together because I don't have the slits like I said. Then I'm just going to fold along all the score lines, fold these guys in like this. Okay, so on the outside guys you'll need double-sided tape on these 4 little tabs here, and I've already done that here, ready to rock and roll. So you're just going to pull off the tape backing and assemble like you'd sort of assemble a normal box base. Okay, so that's all 4 sides glued on the inside there. Now this was that extra line we did on that small where we just put that downward score line, and I used it to cut off because if you keep them on there you get these really big long peaks that stick out past the width of your box, which is not very nice. Then all you're going to do to close this one guys, just fold those in. These fold down, and then that's just where this little length of ribbon ties through those. You'll see this little chocolate, I can pop it in there. Fits nice and neatly inside there, and then I'm just going to join it and then add my little tag. So that's how easy it is to make these rectangle shaped boxes with your punch board box. So the philosophy is that you just have a different width to height. So I've just tried and experimented with a whole range of, you know, on one side using one dimension and on the other side using another dimension. So for example, something like this little box here, I did the small like I started with the other box, and when I turned it the 90 degrees I scored down the large lines, and I didn't do the score line at the small for cutting off. I just guesstimated and cut these ones off by hand. So that's a small and a large. Then something like this little guy here is first doing it on the medium line and then doing it on the extra large line that way. And lastly, something like this one, doing it on the small line one way and then a median line on the other. And then instead of chopping these ones off that were a bit longer, when it comes to putting them together, I just sort of bent them up like that and put a little paper clip on them. So the bottom line is guys, there's no secret squirrel method to it. Just rectangle box is one side using one measure guide and the other side using the other side guide. So instead of doing, you know, always small, that will give you, you know, your square boxes. If you do it on one set of lines on one way, the other on the other, that will give you your rectangular boxes. So there you go. Hope you enjoy that one guys.